no akwa kogu obo ade ya adom akosi ada ye Kenya nso first service and second service first service na sha se wo bra no nson abo eda akwa no nkron 9:30 to 11:30 na the second service no so akwa kogu na so senia dwumedie ne yedi ne saa ne de na kire se dwumedie sonkokwa etua live ende ewo poku ase mayafo ase eninti do edin a eda so gasemeni all night eninti mesrawo baby bia wo bia titiru ene wo poku ase mpotem mato niama pa eninti niama pa na matene ende no mombo mode se mobetu santene na yeni akwa mu ewo se ne beboa ma ne me bia ye kwankon no me bia enko yie ewo ya bra bogu no epedifo betumi ape anopomesibre ede amaye etiripo a eda so lose and let them go se ne beboa ama enkabrochire bi ne yewo mu ne me bi ni abrabo bi na enkoyi a betumi efiri mu efiri ni yie na sa yontiri osom no ana all night ne be sha se wo bra no nkron abo eninti 9 o'clock anwumre ya na all night no ahwehwe eso ewo ho inchechemu ni na no ubenya ewo 0249 669993 and 0540378282 na ni pedifo acheche enkomo eni de maka ye ho ewa abel fontentan video do so Facebook and YouTube ye blaze live ewo ho be like wo be comment wasan so ahye midin edna na ama Fordjour afei ye bora ensem no ankasa enchemu ya shasia dia Ghana mampani atena ye wo Jubilee House wabo modern din sembi atu eja efa Minerals and Mining Act 203 Act 703 no ochomu sesa embrano ene mankofo kwan mu wotumi bowra kwa ebretu ahodro no emu ekotufo megude na emmom no wode mraba begu kwan so se ne beboa amasa eye embrano a emankofo tumi no ebetumi eye free ho.
Our environment, especially from the threat of illegal mining, has been a strong commitment. We promise to ban illegal and new mining activities in forest reserves and roll out our Tree for Life and Blue Water initiatives to heal and sustainably harness our environment. In the first 120 days, we've taken decisive action through a 5-pronged strategy to overhaul and sanitize the mining sector. This includes regulatory reforms and strengthening the law enforcement, including joint task forces, arrests and seizures of mining equipment, stakeholder collaboration, reclamation of degraded lands. 7 out of 9 forest reserves have been reclaimed. Illegal miners have been flushed out of these forest reserves. Concerning the ban on mining in forest reserves, on March 20th, 2025, a legislative instrument, LI 2462, was presented to Parliament to amend the Environmental Protection Mining in Forest Reserves Regulation.
Yada sujina sansem no emu Ghana mampeni jina tenten no asanso dia tu eja say National Cathedral no dia aban MPP empenifo no wofiri ase eni nti sene ayese ne amentem wansi bi ewo ho no nya de oba be pa abejoku a wo no ewo amanyosem emu na mu abejoku oba be pa no wo no enfo wo ho enfo de amanyosem emu se na obetumi aye nhyehyemu ewo sansem no ehu.
Our commitment to good governance and accountability is tackling corruption and eliminating waste. I promise to initiate inquiries and forensic audits into several critical matters of public interest. This war against corruption continues unabated. The Minister for Health is reviewing the Auditor General's report on the COVID-19 expenditures. After the review, the appropriate actions will be taken. The Sputnik V scandal is under investigation. The Minister for Finance has launched an inquiry into the collapse of indigenous banks and financial institutions. And make no mistakes, facts will be unearthed, culprits will be punished, and lessons will be learned. The Minister for Energy and Green Transition has commenced investigations into the PDS scandal.
Ghana mampeni eshe boss 120 days say penny 4 eto ne so ba no be yo mampeni a obebo modern de nyoma ahodro atoto akwanso bi etese to ene ne me bi a ensem fato no beyi edi efidi ho ose nchene enkanfo no ho nanso ono de obekanfo do we sense 120 days no ode ose ayoyo waye mu bi bebre ebi etese nwumesua a obo modern ete eye national consultative conference ede bae na afi no wono impenifuo hia ye to adwen sa so na yesu apon eye afofra eba no wono school fees no wode chewo won wasabi wono edidam so no eye wokwaje ntete nso de achewo eni nti waye ade yie pa.
A National Consultative Conference on Education. I promise to convene a National Consultative Conference on Education to build consensus on the necessary improvements to our education sector. I'm glad to report that this promise has been fulfilled. Over 2,000 proposals were received, including a survey on free senior high school with 20,000 respondents. The report on the consultations will be ready by the end of May 2025 and will be made public. The extensive consultation was crucial to building a genuine national consensus for sustainable reform in our education sector.
Waya kwansra bia dwumedia yedi wo mangana emu meche Ghana Tourism Authority wonso no wonu eni abrese se krodom wono abomoden se wo ma eye akwansra bia dwumedia no ayefe enintiro wo enkampumpuni mantemu a titiru ena wo hwemukina eno no enam so ama Ghana Tourism Authority mpenimfo akwakopiemu e wo Ghana ncheni tekete kochu aso eye se wonfa nyoma ntoto na kwanso se ne ebeboa ma eye akwansra bia meche tourism no etimi afa
everything about it is with the Ministry of Tourism. We also believe that there are parts of Accra that has a very high tourism appeal. Our beaches, that's number one. Two, the monkey sanctuary at Osudoku. There is also this sculpture village in Adar, Usher Fort, James Fort, Christian Bock Castle. And we believe that these are highlights that if we are able to refurbish and put them in proper stead, we could draw a certain appeal and also raise revenue.
Her ladyship Maria Majimanche si eye otemwafo penny ewo appeal court na maame no ejina simpie so de nsem atu edwa efa no eye nsem awodro a empem bebre no ebope so ewo eye asemdibia ahodro no na no na maame kire musani enti a ema ne basa eye akade eni mfidie wodidi dwuma wo nyane etoso mienu ye otemwafo ba ko na afege tabiri nsem bebre e de akwa no eba ne se ontumi endinwie enu nti ena masane ma no eye ampem bebre no ekoso sa
is the encouragement and promotion of local content in PPP projects. Government, as in the executive, remains the main provider of works and services, particularly infrastructure and related services. All these are funded from public funds, monthly revenues generated from taxation and national resources. The generally inadequacy of public funds to finance needed public infrastructural services through public procurement requires an alternate approach to financing the delivery of public infrastructure and services.
Ya pem so dia na ye ni kiremu wo mfimfi mantam no emu na kire se abrobiano ena me no ekwa kopiemu ewo ho eye krokuma wono dwumedia wodi ene se woche enam ewo ensuo eso na mpenifo dia tu eja se ne eboa eye mpuntu dwuma ma oman bi anam potem bitumi kone.
And then support here in Fiabano. In fact, in Yankasa, there is self-help. The Pede initiate young projects. Now, you two ya catch up under them, Jumezi na ye, and seeing here so Bobia Bobo and Sisha no, ya start young chip compound with our own resource in Kakaka. You try the chip compound. I hope that by close of the year, no, able to me. Kuni a janan biakra yenibi mpemfuna mofuma na oko a free range ompano yɛpɛdɛ no so as a matter of urgency no yɛ try na no so yɛdze yɛhwɛ kwana yɛbotum yɛdze gyanambia yɛzaba
Adam Kuma wo mrahyebeje fie panin kwanchofo a oda wo no ano eni ora Alexander Afenyoma Ken wo no afrensem chofo enhyemu edrada wo bra na Ghana mampani eni omanfo kasa edi afa 120 days no eho na no ena ora Alexander ehwemu se ensemo mampani ka efa 120 no so wa ya ade ni na sabe monim adanko dada adre
120 days are over. The promises have collapsed. The excuses have run dry. The reckoning must begin. Let it be said plainly to every Ghanaian. You were not given a reset. You were sold a recycled failure. And now the clock has run out. Accountability must take center stage. Let history record this moment, not as a dawn of renewal, but as a of betrayal was torn away. They didn't know the scale of the challenge. Really? So they didn't know and they were promising. We don't need symbolic gestures. They are only engaged in such practices and neglecting the structures.
Pennyfo wono na eda research statistic and information management ano penny kwanchofo share eye eni ora Shadrack Mensa Openino eni pennyfo akasa na sa ekuoi ehye asoye hye apedie ensem esomitre Ministry of Labor na wochire mu se wo ba be yenhyehyemu e wo mantam edu ensia ni nyina enhyehyemu ne se wo pese wo hu se timemuni a no manfo eye skills aye kura no e na afei certificate ni nyoma bi ekitekita no wo pese wo hu nipa dodo na afei wo hu adwuma e be so sankrofo no eso elinti bosume nan no wodi besi we be frase June
and a besha Jimadu Yasi. Yes. Now, but I take Chira say, ye she say, Yamaya Tumna, yes, I should move ya. Nay, Susan Subiano, your legal education, veterancy. Nasa say, in Susan Sonoko, I am passe, Titiana, Union in your school, and yan no, and industries in here, and no veterancy, no more ye. She share for said the Bayer. Sa adisua yenu ambenyo school mu no etumi aye dia industries no so ye hu say we no but aye esan say ye hu say we ya ade aye how man ye nyina eni nti na ye ka kire wo say Ghana education any stakeholders because wo mu na ye nhihye fa education e wo man we enti ye no wo mu na ye adwuma no bom ndi e wogide say ni findings na beba no say ya ade a ehia nhihye bia na wo mbedi anim.
Yeah, twaso dia na ye call European Union na Ghana embassies ahodro no na wode ato wonani mu se oba be kan abomu kan oba be kan abomu ni aye dwumedie sorokwa wode eba be frase na edian edaso ani Europe month celebration na mpenifo chem se wosa dwumedie na ebe kosudu ebono obehwe kwan a wono afa akọ no enim ewo ejadie mu afempuntuom na wono ahwe kwan a EU ene Ghana wobetumi a strength and wono akabomu ama nkitanwudie ni etunwa chejumedie na wodi no etumi akonanim.
The European Day, which is the equivalent of a national day, but in the case of the European Union, this year we will celebrate the 75th anniversary of what we call the Schuman Declaration, which took place on the 9th of May 1950. And this declaration has been the death birth, let's say, of the idea of forging a European Union 5 years after the Second World War to pull together the men and women of goodwill to create an union that will bind us together and overcome the causes of war, build prosperity and build a future together. And it's very important today to celebrate 75 years afterwards the principle of working together, because with many Ghanaians, I am of the view that we can build bigger things together, cooperating, collaborating between ourselves at global level to achieve tremendous and inspiring things.
Wasa eye nsɛmtwɔfo enhye mu adom kuma no efrɛ de nsɛmbi atu eja no eno na owura Alexander Sansu siso na ɔkyerɛ mu sɛ ɛfa no fo megudi emfa mbra kwan ɛsoga na mampani sɛbi ojatale nani ase sɛ ɔba ɔbɛhye na wɔno eyi afiri hɔ no ade wodi Ghana fo nnuamo papaapa.
Days of his presidency, the truth is brutally clear. The social contract was a political bait and a switch, a glossy list of promises not meant to be fulfilled, but merely to be flaunted, exploited, and forgotten. 1, the taxes remain. 2, contractors remain unpaid. 3, illegal mining rages on, no state of emergency in sight. 4, industries continue to suffer. 5, unreliable power supply, what I call Doomso Promax, is unfolding. President Mahama promised Ghanaians that he would act decisively and swiftly as our country's leader.
Yenja sansa misuna yenja bofo krato emratiawa.
Formula was Apam TV, your family TV. Nsroma ni tumensa for specially and you kwasiada ebe sa onemene ni timba do bom na ya sua nyamesompa hunkyerɛkyerɛ a ɛbɛboa ogidie wɔ kristoso mu ɛbɛma ogidie aguro ni ewie a ɛbɛgyina so ayɛ mpaebɔ denten a ɛde ayaresa ɔgye fa hodie ni adansedie ɛba nipa abrabom yɛkwasiada som yɛato den sɛ ɛyɛ testimony service obi ɔde na mitro bia no onkosa ne oba no ebi a ene kwasiada ewe enimi eye wo adansedie kwasiada ema ne mpa ho bla na be hia ye e wo sotium a rescue point unya siwa bisa se e fine Apam TV wo ubowura wa esum kase no e koso kai se eye anapa 7 am achakra 11 ni Apam eni e mebo mu nhia mompae no abrabo enye senete.
Na fe yempem yakasedo esodianare now Patient Association once so what they had said to Ghana mampeni edebi say or the Mahama care aba na the babe bo eye nkofo asabe okwaya sabe yade akase a yetumi de woto dialysis so no ade Ghana mampeni de samada care no Mahama care no aba babe bo ma bibia konkan ne no na penifo say sadia Mahama Care Association won modern say wode Liver Association me kire eye brebo yihu nsensen be frafra se ne bebo ma omanfo no betumi enyanti ase.
What I said I make and say who kunu nni bi wo kidney patient center me nua ogina me penyin ne bam. He has been on dialysis I think about 7 or 8 years. Young boy, I think he's in his 20s. So you can imagine when he had the disease and he's on it now. So you can just imagine. It's a challenge, you know. Mahama Care na bebwa. Problem ka create bi ame wo and they say we are the affected people. Na committee no mo set you know. Oman include yen. Nti no yenim akwaya say yetutu anoma ho ne na betro say anoma ni sebi omo no mo ye mpanyifo omo de ye ka ho planning stages, you know, implementation stages, policy stages na yenim say abia A B C D time ayebe national health insurance dialysis here na enjoy, you know, we were part and parcel of it.
Afi Midwife International Day dia wono apa hontema e won kampumpuni manta muha eno no nam suma Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association ne fine wo en kampumpuni manta mu apeni kwanchofo da no eni Ora Jefferson Asare dankwa openi no edi adesadia ko edi amagana ban se empenifo nhye anagana ban NDC won hye se na memo we no bebo modin aboa eye midwives for na aka de bia no wasanso edi ama won.
This year, 2025 team economy midwives critical in every crisis economy. Not just we are omo ye adwuma, omo bo adwuma den na ye bede nyankopon asese oboa wo mo. Na midwife asetenem etesay. Up till now, Ghana enya 68 or 67 years. But midwives any healthcare, say midwife area na oko hospital I just would yaka. Ono a waje awo no se wo kowo a otua sika but unfortunately 2024 in our condition of service aban na jitu mu say enka nurse ni bia midwife bia ko hospital enka e was a facility na owo no efa ho kanyina.
Yeah, to also the National Road Safety Authority. One no aso ye no ye won chichemu and intin chichemu nia washe the rubo ensem eso empenifo e de atu eja watch mu say ye sha kwenchia awodo bebre no esi wo ye kwantempon awodo do eso a dodo no a ye nipa o hye no wo han chichemu na ye han chichemu no edro kron 90% eno na eye maame perpetua eye akoto for we or den some atu ejo say yen hye ne yen hye sa ne ma no enso
nipa yen aye suban ne ma bebre ne ma kwanhia esi e wo Ghana nipa suban ene dimu akotene pa menua ye sha about 90% yen aye suban to say over speeding, excessive speeding, kwantempon bia ne speed limit aye de ato ho ye se wodu edwemu a maybe a shop so sorry wo maybe a market wo ntumi nkom road 30 kilometers per hour but ye hu se be breaker bi du a no wabusa amre yi so wo fi kwantempon no wodu nkrasie nkronkro a no busu kra ne 90 kilometers per hour no de nam kwan so na ba emra ne se wodu be bia nkronkro wa settlement areas e was what so ba 50 kilometers per hour sa amre nya nipa ni emfa nya adwuma suban ba akone fatigue driving yenu no bebre akodiji loans and na womodi atoto cars no matwa target a ebro so chen so ma driver free
yade ni echemu asante mantemu ahinko kumasi aneche se otumfo owo oho anasante hini oho His Royal Majesty otumfo so itutu otosumienu ade a openi no de nsem atu eja wobra nyankopon de afeba ko eka ne mfie no eho kwesi ewukude dwumedia na wonu edi eno no nam so ma ne chechen na nanom ahemfo ni ntini empenimfo ahodo edi frechichi ne benchaye ebepie mu asante mantam no emu ewo menhia ma empenimfo hye ho efa eno no tumfo ede adesrede atumpenimfo a wono eda Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology meche Kwame Nkrumah siampon no emu se empenimfo mmomodin se obema eye susudua na che se eye din eda so ne abodin a wono enya no won mmomodin se obetoto na senemu obehye kina na omu ekuremu se ne ebeboa ma eye into asoso kudu etumi akoso
Sienam de ma school in fear dunum ni eba Bishop Sapon mo bra ho ansa na school yi ba na ne nyina akogyan kran yase yam premier fama na ya metumi ya hihye ya na bedrohwe nipa so atete wo anyina de mesa hunu kura se won ya tete ha no so yase wo mo abene mo papa ti madam ase Professor Fuaya boy me professor bebre pa ni gina ha remember de ka professor ya na nyi hu na ma professor de na wo ma gina ha nyina sabio wo ma tue ho achenya aka 20 no mo gina de wo hwe wo mo mesre wo mo se yen to aso na yen nyema school no se nyina bio mai aze mfia duonu me de by chancellor me ba ma hu na nhihye bia me so abeka ho ame aye nti yen nyina so bibia wo se ye de boa wo mbia wo se ye de boa twedam
Yansansun fra santimantemu na yemfe yenimbremu won krampoponi mantemu dia na chese mampani atena ye Jubilee House na mecha uti akakopie mu ewo ho na dwumedia odie openi na bomodin apaw eye code of conduct eno na eba beboa eye appointees aga na mampani abowonu edin wasoye soye ene eye ndwuma hodro no emu openi no kiremu a obefichiri nani ye papa ede edisa eye code of conduct no echi eni nti se wo ya appointees no ebi na wendi Code
of conduct. I have committed to establishing a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials to instill integrity and accountability from day one. Building on my previous efforts, we have reworked and finalized a significantly improved version of the Code of Conduct for Government Appointees. The comprehensive document launched last Monday addresses new areas including a prohibition on purchasing state property directly or indirectly, regulations regarding hampers, and clear monetary limits for official gifts. I've left my appointees in no doubt that I'll bring down the hammer swiftly and strongly if they breach any of these provisions.
Korea Kaseɛ no ewo US ambassador wono abomodin de nsembi atu eja na nsema wode atu eja 14 amokasa wode ema Ghana Armed Forces sane ebeboa ma wokobedie ni wondwumedi a wodi no eno su ebetumi afa ne ntimapa no efra empanifo gina simpie so kasa no ena wo kire mu se wo pekwan a wobetumi ama Ghana ena afa American kita wudie no etumi edimu yie na afe asumdwe ne bambo no etumi akoso ewo nkromienu emu we nsemo a His Excellency Virginia Apam ono US ambassador to Ghana ojira simpie so editu eja.
Continue to be proud to provide the finest equipment available to the Ghana Armed Forces. And these 14 armored personnel carriers are the latest example of that great tech and also of how Ghana and the United States working together strengthens both Ghana and the United States. In a world facing complex security challenges, no country can go it alone, as General Bitanu noted last month at the African Land Forces Summit. Security challenges are just too complex for single actors to act alone. And that's why it's so important that Ghana is an exporter of peace. Whenever they are needed, the Ghana Armed Forces answer the call. Peace operations, border security, responding to national disasters, the GAF are always up for the challenge. Ghanaian service women and men have proven time and again that they stand ready to serve with honor and distinction. And I'm pleased that this equipment will help with that continued service.
This occasion is not just a symbol of the enduring partnership between our two countries. It is also a tangible expression of our shared commitment to peace, stability, and security within Ghana.
Eliti yebejina US Embassy wono adoya obeye Ghana titru ene Ghana Armed Forces for no asoyedo yedi yekaseni nano ebesi ede ama esanse sene ampenifo kan prekonam yedi ni show so sene beboa ama bibia etumi akonkan eliti yapem so kokko nyina no all night chichiricha ekoso ewopokwase mayafo ase eninti ena ama yechicha ye ne maso ntentem ede ama yebese wutumi ko eninti bomoden se wobetu kese ana betu anamon akọ dwumedie nu ebi se ne beboa ama bribia no etimi akọ enkan sabi so wonu obi a obre yie papa wonu nipa no so obre se yade kwankọ yade bia no bomoden se obetwa nipa no kwan anatia akọ piemu ewo pokwa se ne bebo ma ne nyina atuto yie ama yetumi nya nentuo pa ejina so ye dada setena no emu ne sa yo ntido yade na se ni na ma Apam Global Church se na dani de ne ye no se wo so yemu ama ye kinkan do edi mamu so tube enatena kesi echiri kwan no ewo eni nti frempedifo 0249669993 and 0540378282 na nimpedifo enchichi enkomo na wochimuni nyina yada production crew ni nyina simutao se wechinchime ye kasamfoni no edi amaye ma wetumi ahye wo fiefiem ena afe abefo kwan eso sofo nyame bajesi su ne bo modern sa ye kase ni mu edi maye na wochimuni nyina yada na se obo ade ma na hoden a obetumi aye ede amaye me ameje peni bekenkan medin ameje so ene nana ama Fordjour na emom no kwasiada Mother's Day nti ya wish oba bia happy Mother's Day obo ade amba ebesansu ehia makra